Hi, I'm Anna Hoffman, and welcome back to Data Exposed. Today, I'm joined once again by Bob Ward. Bob, thanks so much for coming back.
Always great to be on Data Exposed. Thank you, Anna.
It's great to have you. And we were talking about like what topics we should talk about on the show.
Right.
And one of the things that I noticed is maybe 6 months ago, maybe longer, Davide came on the show and talked about the new vector indexing that we have and how it, makes your vectors much more performant and all that
Right.
sorts of stuff. But I've been digging into it recently and I've realized there's so much more that we've been working on to make it even better. And so I thought, it'd be great to talk to you to understand like what changed and why is it better?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we first came out with the preview of vector indexing. We first started with vector distance. I don't know if you kind
Mhm.
of remember that whole
Mhm.
story. That's just kind
Mhm.
of a KNN scan of the data. We knew that indexing, we're the SQL team, we need to be able to search things faster.
Right.
So using the disk ANN technology, we built this vector index, but it wasn't, I mean, it was great to start with. Don't get me wrong. And we had a vector search function with it, but we knew we could make it better when we first released it, but we wanted customers to get a test drive.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple things. Number one, we've changed kind of the format of the index to make it better and faster,
Cool.
like significantly faster to build
Mhm.
the index itself.
Mhm.
Number two, we made it updatable.
Whew.
The original index was not updatable, a little bit like we did column store technology a while
Uh-huh.
back. So now you can make changes, insert up and deletes to tables that have a vector index, and automatically we will make changes in the background of the index.
Okay, so I don't need to rebuild the index every time the data changes.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
And then the third one is we kind of changed a little bit of how we do vector searching to use this concept called iterative filtering. I can't even hardly say it,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
Because the way we were doing before wasn't quite exactly what some customers wanted. So those are really three areas, faster index building, updatable, and this new type of vector searching.
Okay. Can we take a look?
Of course,
All right,
always.
let's take a look.
Yeah, so I've got this kind of website for a company called Zava Lending. And I only show that because I love to show kind of the app perspective of how some
Mhm.
code is behind the
Mhm.
scenes.
Mhm.
And so what we're going to do in Hyperscale is support this narrative searching concept for this company. So they can put in natural language statements, they do searching. And what's interesting here, Anna, is that we will do the searching on a named replica.
Oh, okay. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about a named replica. This is
Yeah,
for
so
hyperscale.
yeah, it's for hyperscale. It's a read-only version, replica of your database. What's special about it is you don't need to use intent read-only to connect to it. There's a
Okay.
separate database name.
Uh-huh.
And most importantly, it can be a separate vCore configuration in your primary.
Smaller or bigger.
Serverless, even. So you can use serverless named replica to support. So what you want to do is obviously you want to take your vector searching and maybe offload that from your primary changes.
Okay.
So again, we do updatable indexes. All those changes happen in the primary, but I can still do the actual read searching on the name replica.
Nice. Nice. Okay.
Let's see some code
Yeah,
behind it, right?
let's
We
do
also want
it.
to show code. So a lot of people may have seen this pattern where we're going to create an external model for vector
Mhm.
searching. In this
Mhm.
case, we're going to use
Mhm.
Azure OpenAI, a text embedding model itself. So we've got a model definition in our database. We do have a vector data type. Now, one thing maybe your audience hasn't seen is that I can actually use a vector dimension larger than an embedding model or our limit, which is 1998. But I can use what's called float 16, so like half precision floats.
Okay.
So I can store more embeddings if I want to, because that embedding model I'm using has a dimension larger than our limits. Now, here's me using AI generated embeddings with that model to go
Mhm.
generate my embeddings and put them inside the table. And then when I'm done, I will create a vector index.
Mhm.
This looks very similar to what you have seen before. Not a lot of differences here in how this behaves to define it. It's more when you actually go use it. So I'm going to build a stored procedure in SQL to kind of wrap around the vector search. I'll take a prompt as the input for the vector searching itself. I have other parameters that I'm going to use for like hybrid searching with the vector search. What I'm going to do is first generate an embedding for that prompt, so I have something to compare with. Now, Anna, here's the new top with approximate syntax.
Okay.
This is what's used to do the new vector searching with our index. It tells the engine for vector searching to use this iterative concept. Because what's going to happen is it's going to apply this where criteria here you see below, along with the vector search together to
Okay.
give the right results, which is great, right? So you see results right here I'm getting. I want you to notice a little bit about the lone purpose. You kind of look at those strings right there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert some new data in the primary, right? So I'll go into the actual primary replica and I'll insert some new rows. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate new embeddings for these rows. And what we're going to do behind the scenes is update the index. I'll run the query again against this replica, and I want you to see what you get the results for. You look over, I've got new ones like working capital in this particular case. This shows you that we are able to go in and make changes to our vector index. It's now updatable. So it's a great story. We have the ability now to use this iterative searching
Yeah,
capabilities,
absolutely.
and use an updatable vector index.
Okay, great. This is great. Is
Yeah.
there anything else we should know as we get started with this, or any new updates?
Yeah, I just want to show you a little bit about what this approximate I'm talking about. What do I mean by that, right? So what we used to do is we would go actually run your vector search and find results and then apply your where criteria. So
Oh,
you would
okay.
miss results,
Right.
right? That we call that post filtering. Now we have this concept called iterative filtering. So we're going to apply the where criteria along with the vector search to give you
Nice.
the right results. And Anna, we're in public preview. We're going to even make this better. So as we go to GA, this iterative filtering process will be even better than it is today. One other cool thing to show you about vector index, I mentioned we were faster. Look how faster. We use this concept called quantization. That's a big word for me to say.
Okay.
It's a way of compressing our vectors in a way. So you're going to get larger on disk, but look at the speed difference. In fact, our friend Ben Weissman,
Yeah.
he took a look at it. Look at his quote here. He expected things to be better with things we have done, but he did not expect speed like this. In this case, I built 1 million vectors in like 2 minutes.
Oh, this is amazing. So the index build time is better, but it's also faster?
Yeah, so faster searching, iterative searching, faster index build time, and updatable indexes. It's kind of the complete package.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then as folks are getting started with vector indexing and these new capabilities, like any advice or ways they can learn more?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe you've heard of the new certification.
Ah,
So yeah, we
yes.
recommend DP 800 is a great way to do this. And in fact, all the content and stuff, you can probably watch all the data exposed episodes on SQL and
That
AI
we've done,
and maybe
yeah.
prep yourself for the certification. So pretty excited to see the certification live now for our SQL users and not just for hardcore developers. Anybody who's SQL professional can get certified with this.
Yeah, absolutely. And to help you scale up on that, we're running SQL AI in a day, and that's that second link on that page. So you can go find a virtual or in person workshop where you can get hands on with this stuff.
That's outstanding.
Cool. Awesome. Well, Bob, thanks so much for coming on,
Yeah.
talking about all the new stuff. I'm really excited. I've been having so much fun getting hands on with the new vector indexing capability. So I hope you all will as well. If you like this episode, go ahead, give it a like, leave us a comment, and let us know what you think. We'll put some links to some GitHub repos and other things for you to learn more. And we hope to see you next time on Data Exposed.